Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Jordan, and welcome to today's video, which is going to look a little bit different from normal because I am going to be reacting to and voting in the first round of the Goodreads Choice Awards. And the way of recording this and like screen sharing it, doing it through StreamYard is just the easiest for me. So that's what I'm going to do. So if the quality looks a little different, if the background and everything looks a little different, that's why, but it will make this filming process quite a bit easier. Also, if I look a little bit, I don't know, sleep deprived, haggard, not my normal self, sort of like I gave birth to a baby 5 days ago, that's because I did. So bear with me on that front as well. Today is the first day that I have fully gotten ready and everything. And I'm feeling well. Everything is going well. My last video, if you watched it, my last vlog was like the week leading up to baby week. So I was getting a lot of final tasks done, and a lot of you commented with well wishes and everything for the birth. So thank you so much. And I will um, definitely share some more updates in vlogs to come and everything like that with the baby. But everything went well. Everyone is doing well. I am feeling well. So excited to be able to do this to get sort of a video out while I'm kind of freshly postpartum and not wanting to edit videos or anything. Um, but yeah, all is good on that front. So that is what we're doing today. Let's see, any other housekeeping items to go through. Um, Goodreads Choice Awards season is upon us. It's kind of been upon us. I've seen quite a few creators make predictions videos, which I have loved watching. And I've already also seen quite a few reaction videos go up today as the nominees are announced for this year. So I'm excited about it. If you're someone who does not care about the Goodreads Choice Awards, totally understand. Feel free to skip through this content. But I love knowing what books people are the most excited about every year. I also love reading books that are popular and everyone is excited about every year. So as I'm going through the nominees in all of the categories this year, I am going to go ahead and tally up how many in each category I've already read. And then I'm thinking I'm going to try to do some semblance of a reading vlog, maybe multiple. We'll see what categories interest me, reading some of the nominees and or winners for these categories. So I'll let you know as we go through which books I've already read, which ones I would like to read, and which categories are interesting me in terms of an upcoming reading vlog. So that's the plan. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and open up Goodreads. I think this is the view that's going to work the best for us. I have not seen any spoilers or anything. I did see these go up last night and quickly shut the app and skipped on by any screenshots or anything that I saw of the awards. So for me, this is fresh information. All right, so let's go to the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I'm just going to go ahead and go in order of the categories as they're listed here, even though some of the later categories I definitely have not read as much of. All right, so now we are into fiction. So let's look at the first row, The Mighty Red by Louise Erdrich. I have not read this. I have not even heard of it. So no opinion. The Wedding People by Alison S. Bach. I have read. I think I gave it 3 stars. Yes, it shows it there. I gave it 3 stars. So let me make my notes here. So for fiction, read and unread, we've got one read and one unread. Greta and Valden by Rebecca K. Riley. I have not read, don't really know anything about. And then Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. I recognize this book, but have not read it. And didn't really have interest too. All right, we've got Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I've definitely seen this book floating around, but have not read it, don't know anything about it. Blue Sisters, never seen it. Martyr, also don't really recognize it. So let's see, 2 more unread. Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty, however, I am actually currently reading, so that's exciting. Enjoying it so far. I'm not too far in. I actually had received it as an ARC a couple of months ago, but did not get around to reading it before its publication. But I'm reading it now, so that's what counts. So we've got another read. All right, Same as It Ever Was by Claire Lombardo. Recognize it, have not read it. Same with Wandering Stars by Tummy Orange. I think I've seen this author name around quite a bit, but don't know much about it and have not read it. All right, these two as well. Hope This Finds You Well and Real Americans, have not read them. I would not consider general fiction one of my most read genres, so I'm not that surprised with how many of these I have not read. Let's see, have I read any of these? Nope. Nope. Um, Obviously, I recognize Ellen Hilderbrand as an author, but have not read, I don't think, any of her books. This one is a very cool cover. And Margot's Got Money Troubles, very cool cover that I recognize. I think this was an aardvark pick this year, maybe, but did not read it. So four more that I haven't read, and the last line here, Sally Rooney, I have not read. I don't think I've read any of her books. I don't think I would like them, so I haven't read her newest. Sandwich by Catherine Newman, have not read. That cover is kind of intriguing to me, though, as well as with this one. Welcome to the Hainam Dong Bookshop. That looks like something I might like. And Playground. All right, cool. Four more I have not read. Not surprising, given that I don't read a lot of general fiction, and probably not a category that I would be super interested in reading all of the books from. But I guess out of default so far, since I haven't finished Here One Moment yet, I think I will vote for The Wedding People. But that's because it's the only one I've read, and that's how a lot of the voting goes for Goodreads Choice Awards. All right, historical fiction. I'm going to try to go through this one a little bit faster and maybe just talk about the ones that I've read or have interest in. So, have not read, but I do like Kate Quinn, so I would be interested in that one. Have not read, have not read. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no. The Frozen River, I have not read, but I'm so, so interested in this book. I really, really want to read this. So, fingers crossed it wins this category, maybe to give me an excuse to read it. Great Divide, have not read. No, no, no. Yes, I have read The Briar Club, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I have read The Women, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Have not read by any other name. I tried to read, but I DNF'd it. So I would consider that read for the sake of this, because I gave it a chance, but didn't love it, and so I definitely wouldn't vote for it. And have not read. So how many is that? One, two, three, three. Three of how many are in each? 5, 20. 3 out of 20. And I'm going to vote for The Women. And let me write that down. And let's move on to mystery and thriller, really the one of the few kind of main focuses or most read genres for me. Okie dokie. Richard Osman. I'm not surprised to see him on here. I have not read this book, and I have not read any books by him since the first Thursday Murder Club book, and I didn't love that one. Did not love that series as much as other people did. At least this is the first in a series, so jumping into it wouldn't be that difficult, but have not read it. Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I also haven't read this one, um, but I have read other Geneva Rose and would be fine with reading this one, maybe for a video. Not What She Seems by Yasmin and Go. I have not read that book, and I have not heard of it. I was gonna say, this author sounds really familiar. That's because I just read Her Name is Night by this author, and I enjoyed that one. So that's really exciting to see an author of color and her newest book on this list. Very excited to read that one. Darling Girls, I have read. I gave it 3 stars. Generally enjoyed it. Wouldn't say I loved it, but did read it. Last One at the Wedding, have not read it yet. new release, so not surprised to see it on here. Definitely been buzzy so far. The Mystery Guest I have read. I gave it 4 stars. Did enjoy it. The Return of Ellie Black. I have not read this one, but I've seen a lot of buzz about it, so I would love to read this one. And All the Colors of the Dark. I tried to read and I DNF'd it. I do not see the hype or understand the hype that this book is currently getting. So I'm not surprised to see it on here, but I don't really agree with all of the hype and good ratings. So it's not getting my vote, but yeah, so I have read or at least attempted to read 2 of the 4 books in that line. And then moving along, we've got The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. Not surprised. Um, Probably gonna win. We'll see. Yes, already see another Frida McFadden on here. So we all know what's gonna happen with the Frida books. But haven't read it, don't want to, but probably will end up doing it for a video. The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Not surprised to see this on here. I have read it and I did enjoy it. Gave it 4 stars. Society of Lies. Have not read this one, and I haven't really seen it around. I don't really recognize it other than I see it has a Reese's Book Club sticker on it, so it makes sense that it's on this list, but have not read it. And then The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. Have read it way back at the beginning of the year. Enjoyed it enough to give it 3 stars, but not much more than that. So another line that I have read 2 of 4. And then we've got The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. Tried to read it, DNF'd it, so not going to get my vote, but we're going to consider it as attempted to read. The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. Have not read it. I only kind of liked Laura Dave's previous book, so I wasn't really that interested in this one, but I'm not that surprised to see it on here. The Teacher, again, have not read it, don't really want to, but it could win. How to Solve Your Own Murder. I've seen this book around a lot. I haven't read it, but it's been on my radar as a book that I might enjoy. So I would be interested in reading it maybe for a video or something. So let's see. 1 of 4 in this line I have read or attempted to read. And then last line already, we've got Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I have not read it, but I've seen all the buzz and hype. So not surprised. House of Glass. Interesting, interesting by Sarah Pekkanen. I recognize this book, have not read it, wasn't really interested, but uh, I guess I would read it for the sake of this category. And then we've got First Lie Wins, which I have read and gave 4 stars. And Middle of the Night, Riley Sager Makes It Back. And I have read this and gave it 3 stars. So again, I've read 2 of the 4 in that line. So what would I vote for? Or what will I vote for? So what did I give 4 stars? I gave The Mystery Guest 4 stars. I gave The God of the Woods 4 stars. I gave First Lie Wins 4 stars. But I think my favorite out of all of those was God of the Woods. Yep, I think that's my vote. And how many did I end up with? I had read 9 of the 20. Is that right? No, 8. 8 of the 20. So that's pretty good. I would only have to read 12 more to read all of the top 20. Interesting, interesting. All right, let's move on to romance, another category that I might have a chance at having read a good number of these. Okay, I'm already so excited to see so many of these. All right, Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan. I have read it. I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It's a fun one, and I love the cover. Daydream by Hannah Grace. I have not read this book, but would be interested. I've definitely seen the buzz. This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. This is one of my favorite books of the whole year. I have read it. I'm not sure why it's not showing up as a read book for me, but I rated it 5 stars. So I loved it and has a good chance of being the one that I vote for here. The Love of My Afterlife. I don't really know what this book is. I don't really recognize it, so I have not read it, but off to a strong start with 2 of the 4 being books that I've read. Let's go to the second line. Funny story. Definitely expected this to be on here. This also isn't showing up, but I have read this book and I did enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars. Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, I tried to read, but I did DNF, so I'll count it as read or tried to read, but, was not for me. Swift and Saddled, I do not recognize this book, and, I'm not sure. Yeah, cowboy romance, it's taken the world by storm this year, I guess. Probably not for me, but we'll see what kind of video or something I end up doing for the romance category. And then The Paradise Problem. I have not read this book. I've read many other Christina Lauren's. So not surprised to see this on here, but haven't read it yet. So again, 2 of 4. Moving on down. Okay, I'm so excited to see A Love Song for Ricky Wilde on here. I have read this book. I really enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. Leather and Lark, I have not read this series yet, but I figured it's just a matter of time before I do. So maybe some sort of Goodreads Choice Awards video will be the reason um, to maybe read the first book and the second book in the series. Would be interested in doing that. The rom-commers I have not read. Again, I have read other Catherine Centers and generally enjoyed them. So I would be interested in reading this book. King of Sloth by Anna Huang. I have not read. Book 4 in a series. I have not loved Anna Huang's books in the past. They're just not for me, or at least the Twisted Love series, I think is what it's called. A bit dark, dark romance for me personally. So not really what I'm interested in, but not surprised to see it on here. So let's see, 1 of these 4 I have read. And then moving down. Okay, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Yes, I've read it. I've loved it. I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars. This summer will be different. I haven't read yet, but I do own a copy of this book. So I will be reading it in the nearest future. Wild Love, not surprised to see this, but Elsie Silver has been having her moment lately, and I've been wanting to try her out. So maybe this is a good reason. And the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore is the second one after, is it the Pumpkin Spice Cafe? I think is the name of the first book. Have not read any of the books in this series, but I've been seeing the hype, so I get it. Play Along by Liz, I think it's Tom Fordy is how you say it. Haven't read this book, but I've seen this cover and series everywhere, so I've been interested in it. It's been on my radar. Casey McQuiston and the Pairing, I DNF'd this. No, I didn't. It looks like I finished it and I gave it 2 stars, so I didn't love it. Maybe should have DNF'd it. Uh, Not my favorite. Bride by Allie Hazelwood. So she's got 2 on here. I have not read this one. I'm not really interested in it. Paranormal romance, not really my thing. So not sure I would want to read this book. And then How to End a Love Story. Interesting. I've seen a lot of very mixed reviews for this book. So I'm a little bit surprised to see it on here because I've seen some people enjoy it, but I've seen a lot more people be disappointed and not loving it. So let's see. I didn't tally both of these rows. So we've got 1 that I've read in the first row and 1 that I've read in the second row. So 2 more of 8, 6. So we've got, let's see, 7, I think. Is that right? 7 of the 20 that I've read. So that's actually pretty good, pretty close to the thriller category of number of books that I've read. And I think I want to vote for, okay, I got to go with Kennedy Ryan for sure. All right, Romantasy. This is going to be quick. I have not read any of these. Pretty sure. This is not my category. There are many other creators who read a lot of fantasy and romantasy. So definitely go check them out for reactions and everything to these categories because I am not your girl. So we're just going to skip right on through. Fantasy. Okay, I DNF'd this book, The Book of Doors, and The Lost Story I would be interested in reading since I loved this book's or this author's previous book, but I haven't read that one. Um, Otherwise, yeah, not really interested in any of these books. So no surprise there. Let's move on to sci-fi. Sci-fi is a tough one. I feel like I really enjoy sci-fi as a genre, but I don't read a ton of it. And I don't feel like I have a very good grasp of just popular sci-fi books as a general genre and statement. I feel like my kind of niche or my limited exposure to sci-fi as a genre, I don't know. I don't feel like it's necessarily representative of all of the sci-fi books being published within a year. So let's see. Within this first row, I don't recognize honestly any of these books. In the second row, I recognize Annie Bot, but I have not read it. And then same with in this row, I recognize The Other Valley as well as The Ministry of Time, but I have not read them. Okay, here we go. In these two rows, we've got two books that are that were chosen for Aardvark Book Club, and I just did a vlog for my Aardvark books, and I read Yours for the Taking, really enjoyed it, gave it 4 stars, and I also read Baby X, and really enjoyed it and gave it 4 stars. So I have read two of the 20 books in the sci-fi category. So let's see, 2 out of 20, and my vote will be for Yours for the Taking out of the two that I've read. But yeah, not a super strong category in terms of number of books that I've read. All right, horror, not expecting a lot either. Not one of my main genres. Let's just quickly scroll through. Oh, We Used to Live Here. Okay, this has been a very buzzy book lately. I have not read it, but I've been interested in it. I'm interested to see it in the horror genre because I feel like I've heard it talked about also kind of as a mystery thriller, so that's interesting. But I have not read it, so I have no opinion about it, and definitely will not be reading like all of the books in the horror category or anything like that. Simone St. James, not surprised to see her on here. Same with Rachel Harrison, but I haven't read them. Same with T. Kingfisher. The Eyes Are the Best Part. I know I've seen this book around a ton, but haven't read it because I don't really read horror. So, nope, 0 out of 20 horror. Okay, debut novel. Interesting, interesting. This category is whoa, we have an audiobook category coming up. That's interesting. Okay, the thing about debut books is that they can be in multiple categories, like they can be in their genre category as well as the debut category. So we could see books in here that I've already talked about, but also we could see books that I haven't talked about but have read, like this one, The Truth According to Ember. I have read, so that's one. See, these two I've already talked about but haven't read or anything. Lots of these from other genres that I have not read. The Book of Doors I attempted to read but DNF'd, like I said, so I guess we'll count it as another one that I've tried to read, but that leaves us with only two in this category that I have read. So by default, I will vote for The Truth According to Ember. Okay, audiobook. I'm so excited about this category. Okay. So again, some repeats. It looks like these can come from other categories. And it's going to be very interesting, the voting for this, because a lot of these books, I'm sure people will vote for because they've read it and loved the book, but didn't necessarily listen to the audiobook. Like for me, The Women is one of my favorite books of the year, but I did not listen to the audiobook. So I'm not sure that I can really vote for the audiobook. Um, like it will let me, but it's kind of strange. I mean, I guess that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's see. Out of this category, how many have I read? First Lie Wins, The Women, Funny Story, Here One Moment I'm in the Middle of, and then Just for the Summer. But again, I don't necessarily remember the audiobooks specifically or if I listened to the audiobooks. So that is just very interesting. I'm going to vote for The Women because it's my favorite book, but I think that's a very interesting thing to have voting on when you're not sure if everybody who's read the books has listened to the audiobook. All right, young adult fantasy, not going to have read any of these except for Ruthless Vows. I did read this. I'm not sure I cared enough about it to actually vote for it, but only one of the 20. Young adult fiction, I don't assume that I've read any of these. I don't really recognize many of these. I recognize The Grandest Game, but I have not read this series yet. Okay, I've read two here. I've read The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Really enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. I also have read Where Sleeping Girls Lie. Um, Rated it 4 stars, and I think that one's going to go ahead and be my vote. I think we're getting to the end here. So nonfiction. I recognize one in a millennial, but I have not read it. Malcolm Gladwell, of course, I recognize as a pretty buzzy author, and then I have heard great things about this book, Nuclear War, but I have not read it. So no books to vote for here, and not much of an opinion. Memoir. Let's see how this goes. Do I have anything that I have read? No. Okay, kind of surprising. I've read only a few memoirs this year, but nothing here, and nothing's really standing out to me here as like a memoir that everybody read and is going to vote for, like the past couple of years have had, these standout memoirs that everybody read. So this will be interesting to see the voting on that one. And then I think the last category here, yeah, we've got history and biography. I'm not going to have read any of those. So no opinions, ending on kind of a dud there. But let's see, do I have to do anything to like submit my votes? I don't think so. I think I'm good. All right, I voted in everything. So let's close this out. All right, so those are the 2024 Goodreads Choice Award nominees. How do I feel? I feel like I'm not that surprised by by much. Um, Curious to see that audiobook category added is probably the thing I'm the most surprised about. Um, I read, let's see, like I said, 8 books in the mystery thriller category and 7 in the romance category already. Everything else only like 1, 2, or 3 books at a max. So those are probably the books or the categories that I would do videos around as we get to maybe the top 10 in each of those categories. I'd be interested in reading the top 10 books so that I could have like a fully formed opinion on the best in those categories. That is actually something I did, I think, 2 years ago, for both the mystery thriller and romance categories, was read the top 10, and that was really fun. So I'd love to do that again. Let me know though. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any, if you're surprised about anything that you saw in the Goodreads Choice Awards this year. I didn't do any predictions or anything. So personally, I am not surprised at anything that was left out because that's not really what I'm thinking about or focusing on right now. But let me know if you noticed any books or authors or anything who were snubbed and were left out of the Goodreads Choice Awards that surprised you. I would love to hear that. Let me know how many you've read in the categories and genres that you read the most. And yeah, let me know overall how you feel about the Goodreads Choice Awards. Are you excited for all the content to come in terms of reading blogs and things that people are going to do for the awards? I personally am. I love this time of year. I love these videos. I like making them. I like watching them. So I'm excited about it. But let me know how you feel. Other than that, I'm going to close it out and leave you here. I don't think I have anything else. So, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.